It's not often you see a mod that does something completely new and unique, something that totally breaks the boundaries of what you thought was possible with your favorite games. Campaign map modding is a prime example of this in Total War, especially with how it's already been done in mods like Divide and Conquer on Medieval 2 or Old World Overhaul on Shogun 2, but what I'm about to show you today is truly incredible. Now, if you're not a fan or have never played Crusader Kings 3 or Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD on Total War Attila, I highly recommend you try them at your earliest convenience. They are individually really stellar, fun pieces of gaming. A development team found a way to combine these two in a mod called Crusader Wars, in which you can play a Crusader Kings 3 campaign and fight each battle manually, almost seamlessly, in the MK1212 mod on Attila. How insane is that? Playing a campaign on Crusader Kings 3 and then playing proper looking medieval battles with all these shiny troops, all historically authentic because obviously MK1212 has some of the biggest and best medieval unit rosters of any Total War medieval mod, and being on Attila, it's one of the most visually stunning mods as well. And you can do all of your battles using Crusader Wars to manually fight in MK1212 and actually have the results plug back into your CK3 campaign, giving you proper direct control over your battles. So how this works is that when two armies meet, you get these two buttons in the battle UI down below. When you click the one on the right, which is the Crusader Wars mod options, you get a panel that breaks down how you'd like to fight the battle. The modders have essentially given you flexibility here to tailor how big the battle is going to be. So if you have a super powerful PC, for example, you can scale these options way up for huge, absolutely massive battles. Though keep in mind that Total War Attila being as unoptimized as it is, I probably wouldn't recommend you doing this. And then, of course, you can also scale things down if you think that your PC can't handle these higher numbers. There's also a unit size section, which is more so geared towards tailoring the battle experience in terms of between each unit type and the CK3 army composition. So maybe to make things a bit more historically authentic, you want to maximize the unit size of levy troops and lower the men-at-arms unit size since they have heavier armor and are more expensive to field in battle. Lots of ways to tailor things here, which is quite nice. And finally, you have an info panel for if you want a detailed breakdown of how equivalent units are chosen in MK1212, how to join the official Discord, and others. Once you've made your choices in the options menu, you click the Fight Battle button on the left, and the PC immediately launches Total War Attila, which is pretty cool. So before you launch here, you want to open up the mod manager and make sure all the Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD mods are turned on and in the order you see on your screen, with the Crusader Wars mod at the bottom here as well. Hit the big play button to then launch the game, and once in the game, you want to go into the battles and choose this Crusader Wars button, which should take you to a battle screen where you can choose your battle difficulty and then start the battle. Finally, before your battle begins, you'll be able to see that classic Total War battle loading screen with you and your enemy army's roster, what units MK1212 has picked for the armies, plus a lay of the land with a map of the battlefield itself. You jump into the battle and your medieval army is here in all its glory, ready to go, made up of all the levy, men-at-arms, archer, cavalry units in your CK3 campaign, your CK3 character as a general, and accurately represented using the beautiful custom-made units of Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD. Suddenly, you go from, let's just recruit tons of armies and invade this kingdom, we can win with sheer numbers alone, to, hey, we need a decent mix of units with different levels of experience, a good general so that my MK1212 army, when it comes down to fighting it manually on the battlefield, is actually good enough to fight with. It's such a huge difference to your campaign playthroughs. Plus, of course, you get to play the battles, these beautiful, stunning battles. I've always wondered what CK3 might be like with Total War style battles, and this is a proper dream come true. I mean, Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD battles are quite fun, Attila battles are quite fun, despite the AI maybe having some issues here and there, despite some bugs, of course, that are inescapable in Total War games, in every game. But you have great opportunities for tactical gameplay, flanking cavalry around, using super powerful men-at-arm units like Huscarls and Varangian guards, and really fantastic immersion. These units just look so damn good. And once you've fought your battle, hopefully you won, you get your results, you exit out of the Attila game, and you find yourself back in CK3, which was humming in the background. Load up the latest save, which will bring you to the campaign with the battle results in MK1212 included, so you can see both sides have taken casualties and you've won the battle. It's not entirely seamless. I'm hoping a future update soon removes one or two of these steps in between the two games, but otherwise, I'm really happy. It's a great effort by the modders to combine brilliant gaming experiences under one roof in a way that is seriously groundbreaking. And honestly, this is some of the most fun I've ever had playing Crusader Kings 3. Like, Paradox games are great, especially Stellaris. I'm a huge sci-fi fan myself, but Crusader Kings 3 is one of those games that has taken a long time since release to actually get to a place of decent, consistent fun, especially with the upcoming big update that will hopefully be adding things like plagues and other sorts of mechanics. But with the Crusader Wars mod, one of my biggest gripes with Paradox games is actually resolved. For once, I actually care about the battles in this game. I care about playing out these engagements manually, minimizing casualties, playing like things are at stake and my general's life is at stake, and this is going to have a huge impact on the future of my kingdom, because it really is. I don't have tons of money. I can't just raise another army quickly like in Total War. CK3 economy and army mechanics are quite restrictive if you don't know how to play it right, so it's really cool to have this kind of pressure all of a sudden to play out these super fun battles and do my absolute best to win. Now, there are a couple of things that I would keep in mind, or that I really hope the modders improve in the near future. First is, of course, it has to be mentioned, is siege battles. Currently, Crusader Wars does not have siege battle capability. This is something they are working on, though, delivering this year, hopefully, with the aim being April if all goes well. They are apparently working on building completely custom siege battle maps on Attila to do this, so we'll see brand new castles and cities to besiege and fight on with this mod, which should be a huge game changer. But it does mean when I do play right now, I kind of miss this. Once siege battles are in, it's going to be pretty much complete for me. The other big issue is, from a balancing perspective, things can get tedious. Attila and MK1212 battles can get really easy and exploitative, and the translation of CK3 armies, as basic as they are, into the rosters of Total War and MK1212 isn't always 100%. And even if it is, as the player, you just have such a massive chance of winning or minimizing casualties compared to auto-resolving it in the campaign. CK3 already has plenty of balancing issue, so I would say there's still a fair amount of work to be done to bring this up to speed as well. Plus, with the higher unit numbers going into the 30, 40, or even 50,000 soldiers for battles, you start to feel the limitation of Total War battle maps as well. So hopefully in the future, the team also does some work to make bigger battle maps for the mod. Other improvements I can think of are having your own faction banners and flags in the battles, though I don't know how easy that would be. It would make a massive difference to immersion. And finally, army replenishment. I think with how easy it is for the player to win manual battles, replenishment in the CK3 side of things should see a bit of a rejig to make it more difficult for the player to get new troops and fight another battle so quickly. There's not much that I can complain about here, to be honest, and I think that the mod is in a fairly good place, but some polish and refinement will help it reach its highest potential. Finally, I haven't tested this out myself, but Crusader Kings 3 does have some killer mods that convert it into Game of Thrones or Roman times with the Fallen Eagle mod and others. It would be incredible to be able to play a CK3 Roman campaign, for example, on Fallen Eagle, where you fight out the battles in Rome 2 Total War or even Attila itself. To me, it seems like with enough effort and community support, Crusader Wars could be an incredible proof of concept for tying up other games and mods in both Total War and CK3 and other Paradox games to create new amazing combinations of gameplay in new eras and settings that we haven't been able to test in this way just yet. There is just so much brilliant potential here for more. Overall though, I love it. I think that Crusader Wars does something seriously special. Combining CK3 campaigns with Attila Medieval Kingdom's 1212 AD battles is nothing short of genius, and modders who've made it happen are literal heroes. Hopefully in the future, some of these improvements I've mentioned are made, things are more seamless, and especially that siege battles are added in. Hell, who knows, naval battles would be something incredible as well. And as I said, all of this makes me think about how this might work for something like EU4 or Victoria 3, and maybe combining these with Napoleon Total War or Pike and Shot Total War. There are plenty of other opportunities to explore combining Paradox games with Total War as well, and I'd love to see that happen in the future. And that's it for today, guys. This has been my review of the Crusader Wars mod for CK3 and Attila's Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD. I've dropped links below to the Attila Steam page and the Crusader Kings 3 mod page, as well as the Discord server where you can pop in to keep up to date with the latest news, ask the modders directly about any questions or issues you might be having, and if you'd like to help out with mod development. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Crusader Wars mod and found it informative. If you did, give it a like and drop any thoughts or questions in the comments section below. I'd love to hear what you think about everything I've discussed here today. Subscribe for more strategy game content, gameplay, and mod reviews just like this, and thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.